WTBR-FM, Pittsfield.
Welcome to Ham on WTBR, the all-inclusive ham radio show for hams and non-hams alike. Be part of the show. Contact us on www.facebook.com/HamJamTV. And now the hosts of the show, Peter and Jessica. Ham on.
Good morning from Berkshire County, Pittsfield,
morning,
Massachusetts.
Everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
We have a studio full today.
We really do.
Jesse's here, Susie's here.
That's right.
My lovely wife, KD2KOW, is here.
KD2KLW? Is that you? Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a good call sign.
And the reason she is here is because I love doing very special shows. Today's one of those shows that is very, very special and not really ham related and such, but he's only going to be on for a very short amount of time. So,
well, yeah, I mean, he has other stuff to go ahead and
so
do
we are
on
going
top
to
of that.
have on, and we've been plugging this for a while, News 10 chief meteorologist, Massachusetts native.
He was also a hockey player growing up. He's a pretty interesting guy. I was a hockey player growing up. So
yeah, he was.
And Pet Connection premier person.
That's right.
Steve Caproizzo will be calling us here in a few minutes.
When you talk to him, also remember one thing. He's also just recently went ahead and had an anniversary with Pet Connection.
Oh, great! What was the anniversary?
30 years.
Yeah,
30 years with WTEN.
That's commitment right there.
As soon as I find out, as soon as I get my tablet booted up, we'll go to the trivia question.
Oh,
in the meantime,
go
ahead.
I also know someone else who he managed to help way back when it was a matter of fact. It's my adopted daughter. It's her family. It's her blood family that had a dog that had
Debo.
Yes, Tebow.
Debo.
Yeah.
He was part Timberwolf and part Basenji.
Wow. That's a beautiful combination.
Oh, he was a beautiful dog. And the thing is her blood aunt Audrey had a heart attack. And she was going in unconsciousness, and he was the only one around. He kept barking to keep her up and to keep her with him.
That's extraordinary.
Until her husband George went ahead and called 911, and he kept barking and kept waking her up, and kept nosing her and waking her up. They had gotten her to the hospital. She had to have a quadruple bypass.
Oh my goodness! And so this dog Debo, yes, Debo was acquired through the Pet Connection.
He was recognized by Steve as a hero.
Oh.
And he went ahead and donated to help pay for vet bills and to get Debo certified.
So this
as
is a very personal
dog.
connection. That's amazing.
Let's get to the ham radio part of the show.
Oh, fine.
Today's trivia
buzzkill.
Today's trivia question. He was best known for singing on various Christmas specials like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and he became a silent key in April 1994.
Oh.
Who was he?
Oh.
Let me get my Googler.
No,
just kidding.
Googling.
Just kidding.
Oh, I think I actually have it. I didn't know that he was actually
1994. You said
1994.
Okay.
So
some crooner.
I wanted to keep this out of the radio show, actually, but I guess we can't. Given the ongoing increase in COVID-19 cases, both internationally and in the United States, the FCC has put in place new measures to protect the health of its staff. To begin with, visitors who during the most recent 14 days have been in any country that is subject of a COVID 19 related CDC level 3 travel warning are not being allowed to enter FCC's facilities, including its Washington, D.C. headquarters. At the current time, these countries are China, Iran, Italy, and South Korea. Similarly, employees and contractors who, during the most recent 14 days, have been in any of these countries are being asked not to enter FCC facilities. Moreover, the FCC is suspending until further notice non-critical domestic and international travel. In addition, the Commission is suspending until further notice any FCC involvement in any critical large gatherings that involve participants from across the country or around the world. The Chairman's Office, in consultation with Public Safety and Homeland Security Bureau, the Office of Managing Director, and Office of General Counsel, will relax current precautions should circumstances warrant. For further information, please contact Mark Stevens at the Office of the Managing Director at 202-418-0817 or markstevens@fcc.gov.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Stevens, how is Stevens spelled, please? MarkStepens or STEV?
STEPHENS.
Mark Stevens at fcc.gov. Okay, great. Stevens is spelled a couple ways. I'm just.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Go. Here's some news.
Motorola wins $1 million theft of trade secret case.
So interesting.
Not even kidding. A jury of the U.S. District Court of Northern District of Illinois has awarded Motorola $764 million in theft of secret and copyright infringement against Hytera Communications.
Right up, like in the next few seconds.
It was filed about complaints about their digital mobile radio.
Okay, I hate to rush you, but can you give us the synopsis? Because guess who's on the phone? We want to get as much time in as we can.
Oh, that's all right. I can finish the rest of this later.
All right, yeah, we'll finish the rest of it later. All right, on the phone, and thanks for being here. And
thank you so much.
Of a crazy day. On the phone.
Thank you very much, sir.
WTEN chief meteorologist and that Massachusetts native, Steve Caproizzo. Hello, Steve.
Hey,
and welcome to WTEN.
I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry to cut the conversation short. I feel kind of bad.
No, it's fine. You're the we've been waiting for this and promoting this and waiting for you to come on the show, so we cut everything short to get you on.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much.
So I know we got a little short time, so real quick, we know you're a Massachusetts native, we know, and congratulations, you've been on Channel 10 for 30 years, but in the studio, we have my daughter, Jessica.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Jessica.
My co-host, my other co-host, Susie.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Susie.
And my wife, Darlene, who really wanted to talk to you because you're a reason why our kitty cat's at home, and we'll get into that in a few minutes. But for right now, tell us something that maybe we don't know from Channel 10, or give us a little bio on yourself.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story. I grew up outside of Boston, up on the northern suburbs, a small town of Georgetown.
Oh, of course you were a hockey player then. Yeah.
Right, I was big into hockey growing up. Broke my nose twice. Back in the days when we didn't wear helmets.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And they wanted you to fight. You remember that? The big bad days of the early 70s.
I do. That was what hockey was all about at that time.
Yeah, hockey was it was a pretty nasty sport, but I loved playing hockey. One day, my dad and my mom sat me down in the kitchen, and I think I was like 12, and they said, "Steve, you know what? We can't afford to keep buying you skates every year. Hockey time back in those days, you had to pay to use the rinks because there weren't a lot of hockey rinks. They gave me shorts, a T-shirt, and a basketball, and a pair of sneakers, and said, you're playing basketball, no more hockey." So
I get that.
That's when my hockey career ended.
Oh, well.
Oh, goodness.
So when you...
But I always, I'll tell you something. Growing up in Eastern Mass, I always, and this is the truth, I always wanted to live in the Berkshires.
That's beautiful out here.
And in the 80s, I worked, as you know, at Channel 22 in Springfield, Mass, WWLP.
I do.
And I had the chance to build a small home in East Otis, Massachusetts.
Oh, nice.
On Algery Road, in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by state forests, and I loved living there before moving to New York.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Great spot, great town, small community. I loved it.
Nice.
So when you were growing up, and I see how I can say this, when you were growing up, what made you decide that weather was going to be your biz?
Well, weather was always a hobby for me. I was probably 7 or 8 years old, and I just got interested in it. In fact, most of the people that I've worked with over the years, it's the same thing. We all have a common theme. It starts as like a curiosity as a child, and then that just keeps growing, and it's more of a hobby than a job. So, you know, you go through school, you think about what you want to do, and you really have a passion for weather and weather forecasting and understanding, you know, and trying to figure out why things happen the way they do, and that leads you into the profession of meteorology. Not a lot of us go into TV. There are many, many smarter, more brilliant weather people than I'll ever be. Those are the people that do the research, develop the computer models. What I do is I'm just able to communicate the weather maybe a little bit better than some people.
Nice, that's your
the question
superpower.
I think a lot of us want to know is we look at the weather maps, we look when you do the weather in Jess Briganti and Tim Drawbridge, and you talk about upper level lows and lower level lows. How can you see that on the map, or is that something you just learned from college?
No, the basics of weather haven't changed since I graduated college way back in 1982 from Linden State. We still send weather balloons up every day, twice a day. We get upper air data that shows us temperature, pressure, humidity, winds. That information is put into computer models that have some amazing mathematical equations using the science, physics, chemistry, things of that nature. And so that's where it all begins. It begins with data, and then using that data to input into models, and we can see these cold pockets of air or where a storm might form. Now remember, and I always say this to people, bad data in ultimately means a bad forecast coming out. So you can't take the computer's hook, line, and sinker. In the joke we have in the weather department, and I've lived by this for 35 years that I've been doing weather. If I can't be better than the computer models, then anybody can do my job. So we pride ourselves in being better than the computer models.
Nice.
Snow, rain,
as it should be.
like that.
So we're not going to get too much into work, so I want to slide over to your pet connection. But how much stock do you take in the Farmer's Almanac?
That's
I buy it. I read it. I have fun having it. I bought one every year since I was a kid.
Me too.
Yeah, you do too?
I do. I do every time.
It's good reading, right? There's some
It is.
interesting stuff in
It's
there.
very interesting. And the gardening side of it, too, I think, is interesting.
Absolutely.
I get a lot out of it.
And you know, you look at the forecast, and let me tell you a little trick. You know, when you see a forecast, say March, and I don't have it in front of me.
Right.
March 15th through the 17th, major storm, heavy snow, mountains, rain. That's sometimes a forecast that they'll do. You got to remember, on average, we have precipitation in New England once every 3 days or once every 2.5 days in the spring. So it's not, almost anybody could pick 3 days in March and say rain, and you're gonna be right. You're more than likely.
That's funny. And
so
true. It's true.
You take it with a grain of salt. I mean, climatology goes into it a lot, and we average precip about once every 2.5, 3 days during the spring season in Western Mass.
Right.
And that's why we call the Berkshires the Berkshires.
Still love it. Still my old stomping grounds, and I'll always love Berkshires, and I especially love the high elevations up by the state forest. I used to love the stretch from going right up Route 8, all the way from Otis and Beckett, all the way up to Savoy and Peru. Some of my favorite areas are up in there.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I gotta
Gorgeous
say,
country.
It's gorgeous.
You're listening to Ham on the WTBR FM. We're foregoing our usual format because we only have Steve for a little while. So on the phone, News 10 ABC Chief Meteorologist Steve Caproizzo. So, okay, we've done enough about weather. We want to slide you over to your passion.
We want to talk about kitties.
Which is Pet Connection.
So what did you adopt? Tell me about your adoption.
Well, we'll let... I'll send you. I'll give you the story in case you remember. I sent you an email about 1.5 years ago about my wife who lost her female cat after a few years, and you sent an email back saying we can take care of this, and we didn't quite have the money to adopt and anything, so we can take care of this. Go pick one from you. I guess you called somebody Hudson Mohawk Humane. And go pick someone. Pet Connection will take care of it. We're simulcast on PCTV, and my daughter is holding up. I'll send you the link on YouTube when we get it up. But that's our Theo. He's a little munchkin that we got from Hudson Mohawk Humane Society, care of awesome. You and Pet Connection. And my wife wanted to just chat with you for a minute.
Please do.
Steve, I wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Truly.
You are very welcome, and I'm so happy that you guys found one another. I always say somehow they have a way of finding us, and congratulations on Theo.
Theo actually found me when I walked into the area where they are. You know how you go into the rooms. It was the one by the door all the way to the far end of the complex. And I walked into it, and he just fell in love with me. He's only 6 months old. He was just a little one. And I sat on the floor trying to communicate with the other ones, the little girls and the rest of them, because I really was wanting to get another little girl. But Theo was just absolutely gorgeous. He come right up, he sat on my lap, he started crying, and with his little tiny meows, and then he decided to give me the headbutt, hello, I'm here, pay attention to me, and I think you're super, and can I go home with you? Wouldn't you love to pick me up?
See, it was meant to be, right?
It was meant to be.
Yes, it was, and he gave me the headbutt and then the kiss on the forehead. There, I'm yours, take me home.
And I know you've been doing this for a very lot of years, but tell us how you got started with Pet Connection. I know you're a foster failure too. So tell us how you got started with Pet Connection.
Don't ask me how many pets I have. I will not answer that question. Pet Connection, everybody always wonders about Pet Connection. I think it starts with all of us loving pets. So, it was no different than anybody else. And my mom, when I was growing up, adopting and rescuing pets has kind of become a big thing nowadays. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's helping, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You go back 40, 45 years ago, nobody did it. Nobody ever talked about shelters. It was kind of the place you don't go to. It's the bad place. Certain things you always remember. And my mom always said, we have to be the voice for the voiceless. And, when you're 9 years old, you don't think much about that. You know what I mean? It kind of goes in one ear and goes out the other.
Yeah.
And I remember, and we always had cats. My mom always rescued cats and tried to help. And you don't understand. I miss my mom so much. She was truly one of my heroes. I remember her emptying her pocketbook on the kitchen table. And we had 5 kids. My dad worked 2 jobs. We didn't have a pot to pee in. We really had nothing. We were just, it was tough growing up, but we had a great, great family. And my mom was counting coins, quarters, nickels, pennies, and she was adding it all up, and whatever it was, I see her take a dollar bill out of her wallet, put it in a piece of paper, write, hope this helps, puts it in an envelope, and sends it to the Massachusetts SPCA in Methuen, Mass. And, I'm sitting there going, well, Ma, what are you doing? She goes, well, whatever I have at the end of the week, I can give to help the animals. And when you're 9 years old, you think about it, it doesn't hit home. And then you realize, the older you get, how significant that was. And it was an amazing life lesson that I have never forgotten. And I always said to my mom, I said, Mom, if I ever get into a position where I can make a difference for pets, to help them in some way. And I didn't know what it was going to be. You know, it might be me going to a shelter and cleaning cages or
Sure.
walking dogs. It wouldn't matter to me as long as I was helping. I said I was going to do it. And Pet Connection actually started in 1985 at WWLP in Springfield, and it was called Pet Corner. And every Thursday night, we'd have a pet on from the MSPCA. And if I'm not mistaken, WWLP still does a pet segment, but it actually started in the mid-'80s, and then when I came to Albany, we called it Pet Connection and started it here in 1990.
So
That's the history of Pet Connection.
So over the course of between WWLP and what you do in Albany on Channel 10 every week, how many pets do you think you've given forever homes to?
Well, you know, it's hard to put a number on it because we hold so many adoption events and sponsor so many pet adoption fees.
Sure.
And, you know, people have been so generous. But we figure, you know, conservatively over 30,000, and we've raised about $1.4 million since Pet Connection started here.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Congratulations.
But all that money that we've ever raised goes directly to getting pets adopted. For example, I'll explain how it works. I always say I'm the middleman. I have the best job in the world. I work with great people that are in the trenches every single day. They're the real heroes, not me. People that are with the shelters and rescues every day. I do the fundraising. I can collect money. I'm the face of it. And then I can take that money, and when I hold an event, I can hand out money to help with the adoptions. So it might be $8,000 on this event, $10,000 on that event. Berkshire Humane Society, over the years, I've been able to donate a lot of money to as well, so it's always been important for me to help the folks there because I love the Berkshire Humane. I love the people there. I love John Peralt. He does great work. So
it's a
all that
beautiful
money
facility.
has been spread. Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
It really is.
All that
Very
money over the years has been spread out amongst 25 rescue groups and shelters in New York and New England. We treat everybody equal.
That's
it doesn't
awesome
matter
work.
what your size is. We treat every rescue and shelter equal because they all have a huge impact on a pet's life.
For sure. And the thing is, Steve, is I've sat there many of times and watched how you've gone from one place to another. You and Tim, you're always bouncing back and forth and representing the Pet Connection, and I think it's absolutely wonderful. And I love the pins for pets. That is something. It's really incredible. I really think it's really awesome.
Thank you for reminding me. Mark it on your calendar.
What's Pins
April
for Pets?
24th. April 24th is Pins for Pets.
Yeah, Pins for Pets.
Pins for Pets would be the bowl. If I'm not mistaken, Steve, it would be your bowling tournament, right?
Right. We charge
fun.
$20 per person. Half that money goes to rescues and shelters. We have thousands of dollars in raffles. We have 50/50s. We have Pet Connection merchandise. We have a little bit of everything. It's a fun day. Spare time in Latham from 3 to 10 o'clock. It gets really busy around 5 or 6, and we broadcast live there from 4 to 6:30. So if you want to be on TV and wave and say hi, stop on over after 4 o'clock.
All right, we gotta go to a break. I don't know how long, how much longer do we have you for? Do you got to run, or can you hang out, or?
I can do maybe another 5 minutes if you want.
Okay, we can give you another 5 minutes.
Can we do that?
We can give you another 5 before we go to commercial, or go to the break. That'll work.
Yeah, that'd be great, Pete. I'd be more than willing to hang on. I'm going to be doing some forecasting while I'm talking to you.
Oh, good.
Good.
I'm working on the forecast.
Live
So if the
forecasting.
forecast is wrong, I can blame you.
Yeah, exactly. say I was distracted.
And he throws that right under the bus.
Right under the bus.
Right with the theme of the show, I get thrown under the bus, but this time by Steve Caproizzo.
That's right.
And I will take that.
That's right. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's just...
I mean, it happens every time. We just don't know how it's going to happen.
Just, tell Jess it's my fault if she messes up.
Good deal.
So I'm going to ask, I know you said you're not going to tell me, but how many pets do you have at home?
Well, I'll tell you what my wife and I do.
Yeah.
And, we've always had dogs and cats. We've gravitated more towards rescuing smaller dogs. My wife and her best friend started up a rescue about 8 years ago called Free to Be Me Rescue.
Oh,
and the whole concept of that was we were getting dogs, breeding dogs out of puppy mills. And so that's how the name started, Free to Be Me. They were free to be themselves. They were out of a cage. They were no longer breeding. Now, they rescue almost anybody's dogs. It could be an abuse case, cruelty case, a puppy mill dog, an owner surrender. They take everybody. And their motto is, and this is why I love them, and I love my wife for a lot of reasons, but I love her especially because they never say no to a pet in need if they physically can help. They don't care what the expense is. They don't care if it's a 15-year-old dog that has cancer. So that is kind of what we live by, my wife and I. So today, over the years, we've adopted we have what we call our pets, but our pets have now expanded into a bigger family. So my wife and I only rescue the very old, seniors, and hospice dogs. So
awesome.
In our house we have many, but as heartbreaking as it is, because sometimes we don't have them more than 6 months, a year.
Sure.
We do it because we can. We do it because we want them to be happy till their very last day.
So nice.
Exactly.
And we do it because not too many other people would do that, and we feel like we can do it. We have no children. We have the resources.
Yeah.
And my wife has the passion to always, always help those that nobody else wants to help. And that's kind of what we live by today.
And you've mentioned on the air before you're a foster failure. So how many times have you been a foster failure?
What does that mean, a foster failure? Meaning,
okay, yeah, you're going to have to explain
meaning that
for some people who haven't followed Channel 10 in a while.
Well, I don't.
Well, a foster
I don't have a
failure
TV.
is when you take in a pet and you're fostering for a rescue group or shelter, and there's many of us out there, many, not just me, not me, there's hundreds of us.
Sorry.
You'll take in a dog or a cat, and you'll foster for that group in hopes of getting them adopted. So you go to adoption clinics, you help them be rehabilitated, maybe take care of their medical needs, and then you find them homes. A foster failure is somebody that will be fostering, whether it be for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, and guess what happens? You fall in love with them, and you can't give them up. So that is a foster failure, and yes, it has happened to me.
Nice.
And I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
All right, we'll let you get back to your forecasting there, because I don't want Jess to be blaming me for whoever forecast she messed up. It was nice having you, Steve. Thanks for...
Listen, I want to thank you guys, and I especially want to thank everybody that helps make a difference in a pet's life. And if I can leave everybody with one thing, maybe two things, if I have the time to do it, is it okay?
You've got all the time in the world.
Okay, thank you. Number one, if you ever see something, a pet in distress, a lost pet, know about animal abuse, get involved. Don't turn your back. Get involved. I know it stinks sometimes. I know it's hard, but please get involved. Never turn your back on something that you know is wrong. Mm-hmm. Number two, if you're thinking about adopting, and I know we all love the puppies and the kittens and the young, healthy pets, please consider senior dogs, senior cats. They may be 6, 7, 8 years old. They have many years left ahead of them. And you know what? Quite frankly, they're a lot easier. You know what you have. You know their personalities, and they fit into your family so quickly as opposed to a puppy or kitten, which a lot of times may be fun and cute, but you got to remember that's a lot of work. So please get involved on anything that you see is not right pertaining to the welfare of a pet. And number 2, always think about adopting a senior pet. That is, to me, that is true rescue. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you, Steve, for being here. We'll drop you an email later, let you know when this actually when the YouTube video's up, so you can listen to it.
Awesome. I look forward to it, and I'll of course I'll be posting on my Pet Connection page as well.
Nice.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
News 10 Chief.
Thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure. Have a great day. Okay.
Yeah, likewise.
You too. Thank you. News 10 Chief Meteorologist Steve Caproizzo. Wasn't that cool?
I like that guy. Yeah,
Wasn't that
very,
cool?
very, very cool.
Yeah, watch him on Channel 10.
I know. I don't have a TV, but I can find out about him by other means.
News10abc.com.
All right.
Oh, yeah. And they'll give you the whole bio of
And
everything
sorry, I didn't mean to
on
cut
him
anybody off here.
and,
No,
and how
we're
it
good.
goes and everything.
Yeah.
I cut people off all the time.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, we will be back. We got to go to the break. This is Ham On.
You're listening to Ham On WTBR.
You hear that, Boris?
I'm not deaf, Natasha. Dumb maybe, but not deaf.
Open calendar. What's my schedule looking like?
Next Thursday, you will be caught in an emergency flash flood between Park and First Street.
What? No, that doesn't work. I'm busy then. Decline. Decline.
Floods don't exactly work around your schedule. Disasters don't plan ahead. But you can. It starts with talking to your loved ones about making an emergency plan. So don't wait. Communicate. Get started today at ready.gov/plan. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Support for WTBR comes from Greylock Federal Credit Union, proud to support high school arts and sports programs to help our community thrive. Greylock Federal, with locations throughout the Berkshires and online at greylock.org. And from BeFair. BeFair is one of the largest premier human service agencies in Berkshire County. If you're looking for services for a loved one or are interested in caring for the people we support, visit befair.org today for available opportunities. PCTV and WTBR are bringing Restaurant Rush back. Mark your calendars for Wednesday, May 13th for an evening of great food, music, raffles, and more at the Tavern at the A on Crane Ave in Pittsfield. If you're a local restaurant, we want to hear from you. This is your opportunity to showcase a dish in front of over 100 guests. Space is limited, so call 413-445-4234 today to reserve your spot and make sure your restaurant is represented at PCTV and WTBR's Restaurant Rush.
Is your little one safe inside your vehicle? Is the child seat installed properly? Is it the correct seat for your child? Hi, this is Sergeant Mark Madeline with the Pittsfield Police Department, reminding you to please keep your children safe. Follow the safety seat manufacturer's recommendations for height and weight, and check NHTSA's website or our Facebook page for recommendations. If you have a question or would like your seat installation checked, please contact our department at 413-448-9700, extension 575. Our officers are certified safety seat installers. Thank you. This message is brought to you by the Pittsfield Police Department in cooperation with WTBR.
Captain Kirk, sensors are picking up a Klingon battle cruiser, rapidly closing on the station.
Wow.
Are you okay over there now?
I don't know. No.
Are you having technical difficulties?
I am having. What happened is I started drinking coffee again. So I'm a little bit
not
jumpy.
Decaf?
Yeah, not decaf. I'm a little bit jumpy today.
So that was...
her volume was up a little bit.
My volume was a little bit high.
Of all the guests that we ever get on this show, there are just some that kind of throw you all in a tangent here, and that was one of them, Steve Caproizzo.
And you got thrown under the bus by Cap.
I got thrown under the bus live on air on WTBR.
Yeah, usually it's your daughter who does that.
Or
and this
you.
Time, or me. That's true.
I'm never here. Being a wife, I have my assistant wife right here.
That's right. That's right.
I do it, and I appreciate it every
good.
day.
So I have carte blanche to throw him under the bus. Then
Before you
yes, you do.
Before you finish your story, why don't you catch us up on BCR?
So WBCR LP 97.7 Great Barrington. You can find us at www.berkshireradio.org. There's a live streaming player, or you could listen to us via some kind of an app. We like Tune In. And we're WBCR LP. So we are live on the air now, and we're starting to populate the schedule with live shows. So we're breaking into automation every so often, and some of our more experienced DJs are spinning records and talking, and it's incredible. It's so exciting, and it's so much work. I'm exhausted, but I'm really happy with the way that things are going, and
she's getting as busy as I am.
I know.
She's on the air like she's texting on Facebook. She's on the air like every night.
Well,
comes here once a week and does this show.
Yeah. But I am on the air a lot because right now the schedule is open, and so I pop in whenever I feel like it, kind of. So one of these days I'm going to settle down and pick a regular slot and figure out what format I want to pursue. But right now I have guests, and really what I'm treating those slots as are training slots. So we'll be live on the air and talking and playing music, but it's a way for everybody to learn the board and get some experience while we're getting going. And then once the schedule is populated, then really what I'm looking for is
once you get a routine down all the way, then you'll be able
real
to
quality production. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, definitely regular shows. So yeah, that's where we're at. It's a very exciting moment. It's actually perfect timing because it's like spring.
Exactly.
We're just really, and the radio station's budding.
I know, we're really starting to open up. And
trust me, I know what it's like going ahead and listening to a DJ go ahead sometimes and really, really keep track, because as I know from a long time ago, and I'm about ready to throw my husband under the bus. But when he was a teenager, what do you think he was doing? He was spinning records. He was
stuff
a DJ.
You can't say on the air.
Yeah,
yeah, really.
I love him.
I said, what was he doing at 17?
He was a DJ at a roller rink.
At a roller
rink.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
Wow, I didn't know that about you. That's some real street cred right there.
For those who want to know
the guy who owned the roller rink lived across the street.
I love that.
And the story goes, and I'll tell you a story real quick. The story goes, when the roller rink opened, they played not quite the stuff that was popular back in the 80s. So it was some guy that had a bunch of records and just kept them on busy. He knew that I had a massive record collection.
See, you're my people, Peter.
And I mean, I had... it would have put WTBRs to shame when I had my massive record collection. So
and they have a whole entire wall.
And they have a whole entire wall back there full of albums.
I've seen their record collection.
They
it's
got
impressive.
all kinds of Tectonics albums. But he came to me, and I was actually kind of doing house shows out of my house. So didn't have much at the time, microphone, couple little turntables.
You don't need very much.
So he said, "Hey, you wanna come in and play records up at Wheels Plus?" Really? Because I go up there all the time. I was skating up there all the time. So I went up there and I brought 30 or 40 of the best that I could figure out, and this was 1982. So I went from the 80s back to the 60s, and we, just for a joke, I played the other DJ's last little dance record. And then to start my set, I turned the lights off. And it was silent for about a minute and a half.
Okay.
When the lights came back on, so did the bells from Hell's Bells. There was not a day, and I couldn't do it 7 days a week. We were open because I was also... Another couple of the other skate guards that worked at Wheels Plus, they had a sound show. And they would play schools, and they would play, house parties and stuff like that. So I got involved in that. So I was going between Wheels Plus and doing the DJing for the house shows. But, we went from whatever 1920s dance stuff that they were playing into AC/DC, the Beatles, Elton John... Aldo Nova, Michael Jackson, and it was drawing. I mean, we were drawing people out, and that time there was like 5 skating rinks. We had Wheels Plus, Guptill's, Roller-Rama, Starburst.
Did you grow up in Albany?
Yeah.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah.
So
I'm learning a lot about
up until Wheels Plus
people today.
Up until for 5 or 6 years, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights were rock and roll forever nights at Wheels Plus, and we just got so many people in the door.
Oh, I'll bet.
We
sounds like a
went
blast.
from a Friday night having 20 people to a Friday night having 400. And the other side with Wheels Plus is not only was it a roller rink, but we had a dance floor. So whatever was going on in the booth for the roller rink was going on in the dance floor.
Yeah, and that I knew because in 1984, I was there and I was roller skating for the first time. I took a tumble. Okay, no problem.
Did you right in front of the DJ booth and Peter rescued you and the rest
more,
is history?
More,
is that where this is going?
No, more like it was on the carpet in front of the snack bar. And what she's not telling you is, we'll make this real quick because we still got a show to do.
Yeah.
What we'll make this real quick is she was pregnant with a certain co-host over in the corner there.
But before we had gone ahead and got pregnant, okay, a little bit before that, we kind of moved a little quick, though. We were engaged to be married, and he went ahead and played "Woman" on the.
That's your song.
Yes, it was, and he went ahead and came and got down on one knee, and he says, "Marry me or else."
At the roller rink?
Yeah.
I love this story.
Marry me or else. And I
it's the best thing that's happened to me all week. This is a great story. Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
cool.
so back to the
roller rinks need to come back. By the way,
back to the ham radio.
Back to the ham radio. Is that why we're here?
That's why we're here. That's what this show is about. I think I've lost control of the show today.
That's okay. Well, we have to let everyone know exactly a little bit about you.
Your co-hosts are 3 sassy women.
He's a love bug.
Yeah. And they're all saying, "I feel so sorry for you."
Yeah. He also got me into ham radio too. So
right. Now we segue back.
All right. No matter how you go ahead, and he gets me into everything.
So
good deal.
We had some new ham operators coming in February.
I know. Congratulations on them.
So I'm going to read the list real quick. Samuel Hirschberg, KC1 MSB. Woo. Lois Hunt, KC1 MSC. Randall J. Miller, KC1 MSA. Richard A. Sinclair, KC1 MRL.
Go, Richard!
Robert F. Goulet, KC1 MQX. Robert
Goulet.
Van Somalison, KC1 MRI.
Woo! MRI, that's a good one.
Ann E. Rock, KC1 MRM.
Woo, woo, woo.
Todd E. Army, KC1 MRJ.
What?
Michael Lissor, KC1 MSF. J.R. Jordan, KC1 MQU. Christopher Murray, KC1 MRK. And from our session that we had on February 29th here at the Berkshire Bank Community Room, Joseph Gromes, KC1 MTM. And Craig Mallory, KC1 MTM. Those are the new hams for Western Massachusetts.
That's a pretty
people,
big
I'm not
list.
Mistaken, I think you turned around and you said was listening to the show, and that's how he ended up knowing everything about going there.
And he's probably listening to the show right now.
Yeah. So, congratulations.
Skywarn training April 30th at the Berkshire Bank Community Room at 7 p.m. Put on by myself, Northern Berkshire Amateur Radio Club, and the National Weather Service in Albany. Limited seating is available in the hall. You can go to NWS Albany and sign up for that. So that's a Skywarn training. Yay.
I think I'm going to that.
And we're making some progress with Field Day.
Yeah?
Oh, all right.
We are. I'm drumming up some excitement. I did contact a couple people. I don't want to talk about it in the air just for privacy reasons, but I did contact a few people, and so we've got a couple other people who are coming.
And you've offered to do food.
I've totally offered to do food.
And you also offered to do food on July 18th.
That's correct. I'm a pretty creative cook. I'm not amazing, but the food should be healthy and flavorful and interesting, and not just bags of chips.
July 18th up at my house up at on Wacona Street.
Wacona Boulevard, huh?
Wacona Street. July 18th, 2 p.m. We're having a section picnic. the most of the big deals and the section staff will be here. Marcia Ford, K1WU, will be here. Ray said he'll be here if he's not out working. I'll be here.
It'll be great.
Will be here.
Oh, good. Okay.
And the guys in the back, because they've been invited to.
Oh, yes, they
the
have.
staff from WTBR and PCTV will be there. It's July, and of course all the hams are invited. It's bring your own dish.
That only means one thing.
Satellite dish.
Guess who gets
we're
to cook?
we're gonna supply. No, I'm cooking. We're supplying the hot dogs and the hamburgers.
I'm cooking other stuff the night before.
You're
so,
cooking some stuff. Susie's apparently gonna bring something.
Yeah, I'll probably bring some salad, and I'm not sure. I haven't thought about it yet.
So it's
but definitely
July,
something interesting.
July 18th.
I'll coordinate with you, Darlene, actually, so that we put out a nice spread.
Oh yeah,
maybe cookies.
July 18th at 2 p.m. All the hams will be invited. Please RSVP so we know exactly how much food we have to dish out. Please RSVP if you're planning on coming to my email, kd2jkv@gmail.com.
Could you repeat that email address for folks who can't understand rapid speech?
You only paid for one email. Read off. You didn't pay for two.
Okay. Here's another quarter.
It's another quarter.
Yeah.
It's Kilo Delta 2 Juliet Kilo Victor at gmail.com or kd2jkv@arrl.net. So we know your story's kind of been put off here. We're all put off tonight. Today here was Steve Caproizzo had to change. We changed the whole format just to have him in here.
It was so worth it. What a cool guy.
It's so worth it, wasn't it?
Yes,
Such a cool guy.
I've been waiting for months to get him on the phone.
Maybe
at some point, we'll actually get him to show up in the Berkshires and actually be live on the air in the studio.
Be fun.
If any knows how the weather here is, it'll always be to me. When I first got here, if you weren't happy with the weather, wait 5 minutes and welcome to the Berkshires.
That's right.
I'm like, are we serious? Yeah, the weather's been really crazy this winter.
All right, so we have like 10 minutes. Time flies here.
Yeah.
Time flies when you get thrown under the bus by Steve Caproizzo. So go ahead with your news story.
In early 2017, Motorola filed complaints in federal court alleging that Hylater digital mobile radio, or DMRs, products employed techniques and systems that infringe upon Motorola's situation patents and trade secrets. So they pretty much went ahead and sued.
That's what you need.
Hylater Communications for basically looking at their stuff and going, I can make that, I can copy that right down to everything and then sell it for
Copyright
less.
and infringement.
Exactly.
So,
that's what Susie needs.
That's a good one.
That's
to
what
go ahead and
Susie
do.
needs is DMR.
What's DMR?
Digital Mobile Radio.
That's exactly what I need.
It is.
I have so many things that I need to talk to you about in general, but yeah, DMR, definitely.
DMR is awesome.
I just put mine back on the air yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can talk to the world off your HT.
I keep on forgetting. I can get on that thing and go ahead and say hello too. I've got that ability with the general. I keep forgetting I have it.
You don't even need the funny part about DMR is you don't need your general for DMR. All you need is your technician's license.
I have a brain fart today. I keep forgetting it's for the other big box that's in there.
Yeah, the other big box that there's like no conditions for.
Then that's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the one that? Oh, you mean the one that you key up and then set the smoke detector off with? What?
Yeah,
Steve got one in. I needed to get the second one in. So
yeah, we're not quite sure exactly what goes on with that.
No, what it is, I think it sets off the frequencies. So every time, I think it's like 80 meters or something like that. When it keys up,
apparently the alarms that are on the smoke detector are set to 3 megahertz, which is 80 meters.
It's really funny.
So being I can't have anything outside, I tried to run my long wire in the house. Works beautiful on 40, works beautiful on 20, and 30 or 75, no good.
Yeah.
It sets off the smoke detectors on 75.
The smoke detector will go off and it'll turn around and it'll start and it'll go smoke.
Evacuate, smoke imminent, evacuate.
And we're like, what the heck? I come running in.
No, it's just hot air from Peter.
That's three. That's three if you're keeping score at home. Oh, look, now the lights are flickering. See what you guys did?
I know.
The power's getting ready to go out over here.
But yeah, it was definitely it's kind of weird. I've come running out and I'm looking and I'm like, what, where? Who's cooking what? You know?
No.
And
Jesse
just goes, Dad was talking. I guess it got overheated from hearing his mouth.
Yeah,
so.
really.
Yeah.
That's 4.
So,
4.
Yeah.
So
All
right, we will. Hopefully, we will be
trivia
there.
question.
Well, I gotta go to the break.
Oh, okay.
Well,
can I go to the break?
Yeah.
Am I allowed?
Yeah, I think we need one.
Right.
I think I need a break since I came in here.
Yeah.
All right, we will.
Give us a break.
We will be back.
The estrogen level is high for you today.
We will be back after the break. Maybe some of us will.
You're listening to Ham on WTBR.
Captain Kirk, there are Klingon soldiers on this station.
This is the Goodwill Industries of the Berkshires and Southern Vermont. Our mission is to help our community members with barriers to employment attain independence and self-sufficiency, gain confidence and enhance quality of life, all through vocational, educational work, training, and support services. You can contact Goodwill at 413-442-0061 or go to our website at www.goodwill-berkshires.com.
Well, hello. Hi. Wow, you are looking fabulous. Is that a Gucci handbag? And your shoes are gorgeous.
They're Italian leather. This skirt is Chanel, and I treated myself to this Tiffany bracelet, too.
Did you get a raise?
I wish. No, I got all this and more at Catwalk Boutique.
Catwalk Boutique?
That's right. I got the Gucci handbag and Chanel skirt at the Great Barrington location and the Tiffany bracelet at the Lenox store.
Well, you have to tell me about Catwalk Boutique.
You will love it. It's an upscale resale shop for women. They have something for everyone, from casual to designer, and everything in the shop is donated. Best of all, 100% of the proceeds benefit Berkshire Humane Society.
I think Mitzi approves. I have to check it out.
I'm headed there now. Want to join? The shop is dog friendly, so Mitzi can come too.
Oh, absolutely. Catwalk Boutique. The more you shop, the more animals you save.
Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and at catwalkboutique.org.
This is the Goodwill Industries of the Berkshires and Southern Vermont. Our mission is to help our community members with barriers to employment attain independence and self-sufficiency, gain confidence and enhance quality of life, all through vocational, educational work, training, and support services. You can contact Goodwill at 413-442-0061 or go to our website at www.goodwill-berkshires.com.
It rocks. WTBR 89.7.
And we are back.
Welcome back, everybody.
And what are you Googling over there?
I might be Googling the answer to the trivia question, so I now know the answer to the trivia question. So I'm in line here to win the prize.
Okay, note to self: next week we take her phone away from her.
Why else do I have it? You know, if not to.
We actually we got like 6 minutes left, so we
take my coffee away from me too.
We actually have sort of space weather.
Sort of space weather.
I like sort of.
Well, we have no sunspot cycle.
I'm into space weather. Let's do it.
A new sunspot is emerging in the sun's southern hemisphere. Its magnetic polarity identifies it as a member of New Cycle 25. Although the sunspot is relatively small, it is also dynamic and has produced one of the first loud shortwave radio bursts of the new solar cycle.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Oh. So, holy stankies, you guys might actually have a solar, have a sunspot?
We may have some propagation.
Gerd.
Wouldn't
Oh
that,
wow!
Wouldn't that be
Everyone
fun?
may have some radio entertainment after all. Get up there and
Gerd.
get it to the point that they actually can be able to, talk to people around the world and find out what's going on besides.
I don't want to talk to
the
people.
mutual news problem that's going on. Everyone is getting too hyped on it.
That's
sorry.
what DMR is for.
It's
So
way too
next week, I'll put this out. Next week is another big show.
Really big shoe.
Now,
Really big shoe.
Talk to me.
next week is a ham radio big show because we will hopefully have Bob Heil.
Oh, nice.
On
Oh,
the
the Howler
phone.
mic. Howler mic.
Heil microphones and all.
Sweet.
You know that little.
What?
You know that the little thing that what's his face talks into
What, a microphone?
No, Ted Nugent.
Oh.
When he does that one.
I forget what that's
he
called.
does
the voice
the
manipulator?
the voice manipulator.
Yeah.
Bob Heil made that.
Nice.
He did stuff with The Who. He did stuff with
Bob
the
Heil is going to
Stones.
be here next week.
Well, on the phone.
That's so cool.
And a lot of ham radio operators use Heil microphones.
Ooh.
That is
Maybe he has some
impressive.
factory seconds he can.
Factory seconds.
That's most impressive.
Most impressive.
That's right.
All right, so the trivia question, and you are disqualified.
Oh, man.
That's what you get for Googling it during the show.
Well, I didn't intend for you to see that that's what I was doing.
I'm right here. Unless you do it under the table, I'm going to see it.
I don't think anyone's paying attention to me, but, you
I'm
all
always
are,
paying attention.
He's used to me going when he asks me questions. I go, nothing, never mind.
Nothing, never mind.
And then I act like I don't know a doggone thing.
All right, he was best known for singing on various Christmas specials like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and he became a silent key in April of 1994.
Ted Nugent.
Who was he?
I'm
Frosty
gonna have
the Snowman.
Gene Autry.
No.
Can
Oh,
I say?
really?
Can I guess?
No. You're disqualified.
All right, Darlene. Just
Let me give you a hint. Silver and gold.
This Burl Ives. I knew that before. It was Burl Ives.
K-A-6-H-V-A.
She didn't even
Burl
have to
Ives?
Google.
Burl Ives.
Nice.
She's so
I
smart.
know it was Burl Ives
So you don't
because
find out who's
I
a
mean,
lot of people who
I
are ham
watched the
who are
whole
ham
thing.
radio operators. Burl
Oh, wow.
Ives.
Yes.
So cool.
I think I had
Mr.
gone
Silver and
ahead
Gold
and read
himself.
something like that
Silver
when
and gold.
I sat there and I read the
Silver and gold.
yeah. When I sat there and I watched I read the obituary, and it was on the bottom that you kept going through it, and it had the long obituary, and it had everything onto it, and then it turned around and said, basically, and then they turned around and they said, oh yes, and also for he's also a silent key for him, and I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, wow, and I'm like, don't know what it is at the time, but I was quite impressed.
So,
But,
once again, thanks.
Now
to,
I do.
once again, thanks to Steve Caproizzo. It was a beautiful, wonderful show. We were so happy to have
thank you, Cap.
Steve Caproizzo on the phone.
I'm a fan.
I'm a huge fan.
Very cool.
I've done many things on with the watching of Steve and everything. Also, my mother, God rest her soul, gave me a letter that was made, and it basically in a
It was
nutshell,
a Christmas poem.
It's a Christmas poem.
Cool.
Of for sheltered pets, and it gives the heartbreaking of the fact that they're there, they need love and they need support and everything while they're in the shelters as well.
Well, and also you bring
And a lot of people
a
forget.
pet into your home, and it enhances your life as well.
Yeah.
Improves your life, so it's a win-win.
And all the thing is all they're looking for is love. And during the Christmas time, they're sheltered pets.
Okay.
Give them more of the love than the ones that you would,
Yeah.
All right, we're out of time.
No.
Yes, quick hour.
I know.
Jesse, as always, thank you.
Thank you.
Darlene,
Thanks, Jesse.
always a pleasure having you on the show.
Thanks, Darlene.
I love being here, and Well, I'm sorry I threw you under the bus, but I love you. I
And
had to do it.
WBCR's own and
That's right.
Ham-On's own.
That's right.
Susie, always a pleasure having you here with us.
My assistant wife over here. She's got to be over here to help out.
That's right. Keep you in line.
On
Somebody's
behalf
gotta do it.
of the
Somebody's gotta
cast
do
and
it.
crew of Ham-On, we bid you 73, and we will talk to you next week.
With Bob
73s,
Heil.
guys.
73.
73s, and everyone have a blessed day.